Hello, I'm Andy Green. Welcome to Linear International Film Festival for 2020. Thank you for joining us online. Again, we are sorry we're not able to do an event in person this year, unfortunately due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It's something we had put a lot of planning into. We looked at the numbers, we looked at the location, Gullivers we were going to use, and it just wasn't feasible to have many people at all in the room, not to do the presentation and the event that we had been planning. So here you are joining us on the evening of our event. This is October 2020, and we're going to start by recapping and meeting the judges.
Hello, I'm Amanda J. Fleming. I'm an actress of 30 years turned filmmaker and theatre director. I'm also the co-director of Linear International Film Festival, which Andrew Green and I set up nearly 2 years ago. We are very passionate about the quality, style, and storyline portrayed in the dramatic interpretations in all the films we have received, and have loved every minute of being involved. To everyone who submitted, good luck.
Hello there, my name is Lindsay Eavis, and it's an honour to have been asked to judge at the Linear Film Festival this year. I'm an actor of over 50 years standing. I'm also a director and a writer and a teacher. I'm passionate about film. I've always loved the cinema. And as I've got older, I've developed a more analytical eye. This happened, I think, when my son became a media graduate. He's now a TV editor, and he taught me a lot, which is a great thing. We should always keep learning as we're getting older. So this project is really exciting for me, and I'm so looking forward to it. Good luck, everyone.
Hello, I'm Andy Green, co-director of Linear International Film Festival. Thank you very much for your continued support in our second year. Again, we apologise that we're not able to do a public event, which was going to be at Gullivers in Manchester. Due to the pandemic, it's not worth sort of holding an event and having that much sort of spacing, having to do the health and safety precautions. We have very much enjoyed watching just a huge amount of short films that we've had come in the comedy, drama, LGBTQ and horror genre sections, and we're still watching some. We still have some left to do, but we're getting very close to actually picking our finalists and our winners. We're looking forward to the event on the day. We're going to do some videos which will go out on the evening of the event, which will culminate with announcing the winners. I've been doing the horror category, and it's been brilliant to see what originality is coming out with that. So what I've been looking at briefly is not necessarily the budget of what people have been making, but how they've used it. Does what they intended to do work? Look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you very much for following us here on Facebook and on YouTube.
Hello, my name is Sam Simmons, and my history is that I did my bachelor's degree in acting. I then went on to do a master's degree in radio and film production, directing, script writing as well. And I've continued to pursue those skills and forever learning, as we do throughout life. I'm currently sitting in Turkey, which is why I've got a beautiful view behind me. So to be a judge in Linear International Film Festival seems really relevant when I'm currently sitting outside the UK. I also run an acting agency, prideandperformance.co.uk, so if anybody ever wants to find out any more information, please do pop yourselves there. But right now I just want to say that I am thoroughly enjoying the comedy genre that has been appointed to me for this particular International Film Festival. So let's carry on enjoying the Linear International Film Festival. Thank you very much. And from Turkey, görüşürüz and bon. İyi şanslar, as they say here. Good luck to everyone.
And now a few words from the co-creator of this festival, Amanda. She's going to tell us about her production company and what she's been up to over the last few years.
Hello, my name is Amanda J. Fleming. I'm one of the judges with Linear International Film Festival and the co-creator. I just thought I'd give a little video about myself and what I've been doing for the past 30 years or so. Since it's such a glorious day outside, I thought I'd do it outside. Excuse the occasional trains that are coming through. So basically I've been an actor of 30 years and transitioned into directing around about 2001, which was through a friend of mine asking me to kind of co-direct something with them. My love of directing grew from that moment, but I didn't get another chance to do it until a little bit later on. In fact, when I returned back from the States in 2015, that's when I started getting heavily into directing by creating the first of my 4 films, short films, which have been receiving very good acclaim, and some of them have received awards in film festivals, which has been brilliant. I've also been directing theatre both through my own production company and also freelance, which I absolutely love with a passion. So basically working with Andy on Linear, it's been amazing this past 2 years. It's such a shame that COVID hit, hence why we're doing it online, but just because it's online doesn't mean it's not going to be fantastic. We've got a great lineup of the winners coming, and we hope they're excited that they won the certificates and the awards, gold and silver. Very happy for them and for ourselves for managing to get through. Oops. Managing to get through such a crazy time as it is at the moment with COVID. So onwards and upwards, that's what I say, and good luck again to everybody who has applied, because some of them, even though they weren't winners this time, have been amazing, and unfortunately we couldn't get everyone in, and I hope that their films and everything go really, really far in the future. And I'm sure they will, because some of them were quite spectacular, but unfortunately we couldn't get all of them in. So anyway, that's me for now. A little bit about myself, what I've been doing, and my production company is Diprofundis Productions, www.diprofundis/productions, how should I say? Yeah, .com actually. All right, well, over and out, and enjoy the festival. Ciao.
Thank you, Amanda. So just a little bit about myself. My name's Andy Green. Back in 2016, I started a project called Film Vault Presents. So the main purpose behind that was to give a screen that was easily accessible in a city centre to low to no budget filmmakers. The majority of those film events have been done at Gulliver's in the northern quarter of Manchester city centre. They've been absolutely brilliant with me since starting there. We get loads of people turning up who are able to talk about their films. They travel from far and wide. We have people from as far as London coming up just for the night. They'll chat about the films. We've only unfortunately been able to do one this year, which was in late January, and then obviously the next one was planned for late March when all the lockdowns started. There were many others planned as well, but obviously everything's had to be cancelled for the moment. So hoping to plan some more for next year. So obviously if anyone does want to get in touch, you can sort of send us a message either through Linear or Film Vault Presents on Facebook, and I'd love to hear from you, and then we can start planning in your short films to screen next year. Another project that I've been managing for the last 2 years is Circular Bear Project. So a part of Manchester's LGBTQ bear community, a lot of us have been getting together. We've been making short films. So there's 3 main acts. Act 1's now online. That's been on there for 1 year and has had over 70,000 views, which is absolutely brilliant for our practically no budget short film. We've got 2 other acts in the works, and we're also doing some shorter shorts, some of which are online and some we are planning to film over the next few months, obviously with social distancing in plan. It's a great way to represent the larger element of the LGBTQ community, and also sort of people who don't feel they fit in to the look of general society and what we're told to look like. So it's been brilliant to represent those in a sort of realistic but really light-hearted manner. Amanda and I would like to send out a great big thank you to our guest judges this year, Lindsay and Sam. So we've asked them to talk a bit more about how they found this year and what else they've been up to.
Hello, my name is Sam Simmons, and my history is that I did my bachelor's degree in acting. I then went on to do a master's degree in radio and film production, directing, script writing as well. And I've continued to pursue those skills and forever learning, as we do throughout life. I'm currently sitting in Turkey, which is why I've got a beautiful view behind me. So to be a judge in Linear International Film Festival seems really relevant when I'm currently sitting outside the UK. I also run an acting agency, prideandperformance.co.uk, so if anybody ever wants to find out any more information, please do pop yourselves there. But right now I just want to say that I am thoroughly enjoying the comedy genre that has been appointed to me for this particular International Film Festival. And I'm going to go through the 5 points that I'm looking for when I take a peek at everybody's short clips. So the main one initially, the things that I'm looking for are, number one, I want to see if it is an international element. Now, that doesn't exclude anybody, but for me, I just want to see where this particular project has come from. So it doesn't bias me, it's more about what am I looking at, how international a story I'm likely to be taking on board, and whether it's a homegrown cultural thing or if it's going to maybe have mixed elements within it. So that's the first thing I look for. The second thing I'm looking for is style of comedy, because obviously comedy is really subjective. It is also open to cultural influences. I particularly like to look at things like script writing and directing to see how that's been put together, and I'll go into that a little bit more in a minute. And I like to look at the public appeal, and that is a really hard thing to do, because what might be really appealing to one culture might not be to another. So again, I'm using my international element, being someone who has lived abroad considerably and worked in an international entertainment field quite a lot. I tried to bring that element to it as well. So if I were to break those down, international element for me is that there is no discrimination or unconscious bias regarding international versus home submissions. It's more acknowledgement really regarding potential cultural humour. From the second perspective point of view, the style of comedy. Comedy, as I've said, is extremely subjective, and I feel it's important to acknowledge its diversity. So as such, I'm kind of watching all the clips as a blank canvas. I try to devoid myself of any cultural or ingrained comedy structures that perhaps could follow a social background that maybe I've had. So I try to divorce myself of all of that and allow the pieces to just wash over me. When it comes to script writing, I like to look at the piece to say, you know, how clearly has this piece come across to me? How concise, and preferably without too much preamble. I also look to see if there's any extraneous material, and for me, I'm always asking, is there anything that's just merely exposition, and if so, is it necessary, or could there have been another way around it? Another element that I like to look at is the portrayal and the directing. I like to look at how well a piece can breathe. I like to look at the pace, I like to look at energy, and is each frame necessary? Now, I don't go into minute detail. It's more a case of, does something jump out at me? Has something stepped out and said, ooh, did they really need that? It's more that, on that level, not in like frame by frame. I certainly would not do that. I like to look at public appeal, which is, as I was saying earlier, you know, is what I look at that for that, I'm saying, is this an in-cultural joke? So if such, it could be seriously funny to those who are in that social comedic structure, but yet and that could maybe be a 20% audience, and then you've got 80% who'll look at it and just think, didn't get that. I'm not going to make those biases. I'm going to look at it purely, or I have looked at the comedic element in its own right, to say, what scale of structure is this based on, and how well it's been portrayed and put forward. I also like to look at how international the appeal is for a particular piece, because, for example, Mr. Bean, Like It or Loathe It, is something that is completely international. It's sold around the world. And so it's under the comedy genre, and it shows that you do not necessarily need to stick to your own social and cultural biases. And so from that element, I'm looking to see what is the wider appeal as well. You don't get marked down on anything, but I do like to look and just have a peek at all those different things. So I hope that's just like a little snapshot of what I'm looking at when I take a look at all these wonderful pieces. They have ranged from 1 minute 30 through to just over 16 minutes each, and I've thoroughly enjoyed every single one of them. It's absolutely astounding to step inside the head of the people who have put these things together, and please never underestimate how open my mind is to you, and to the appeal that you're offering. It's a lot of respect from me, because I know how much time and effort has gone into it, how it's been well thought out, and how that person has visualized it in their head in order to get it across to us, and for that I'm very grateful. So let's carry on enjoying the Linea International Film Festival. Thank you very much, and from Turkey, görüşürüz, and bon iyi şanslar, as they say here. Good luck to everyone.
Even though we tried to let you know as soon as possible that the event was going to be online only for the results and obviously the presentation of talking about ourselves and sort of having talks from the winners, we've still had an amazing response. We're still a very small film festival. We're still focusing a lot mostly on independent short films, but we've still had approximately 11 to 12 hours worth of short films. At the very longest they were 20 minutes. We had some as short as about 3.5 minutes. So between the four of us, we've really enjoyed it, and it's been absolutely fascinating watching the different sort of the ways that people put a story across, regardless of where it is from around the world, regardless of what genre it was, be it LGBTQ, be it horror, be it drama. It's been fascinating to see what people have done with the budget they've obviously had, and how they put across the material, and how it's sort of been interpreted by us as well.